Hey everyone, you're listening to Party Time, My Golf Story with Kevin Walsh, and whatever special guest he has today, you can check me out on episode 9 of the podcast. Today I'm wearing Grayson clothes while I'm out practicing because I believe in look good, play good, and follow me on Instagram, Sophia Warren Golf, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers. And the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Visicaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoastdreams.com. Now here's your host, Kevin Walsh.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the program. Before we get into the details of it, by the way, that young lady that you see at the top of every Party Time, My Golf Story, Sophia Warren, I played golf with her today. It is Thursday, November 13th at the time of this recording, and I was just going out to play 9 holes late, and guess who rolled up? None other than Sophia. What a great day. What a great gal. Game looks good, and man, she can hit the ball. And she's going to be a guest again. Already been a guest on the program 2 times. I know people around Lakewood National Golf Club love her, as they should. Same with Lakewood Ranch Country Club, where she is right now and still chasing the dream. So we'll check in with Sophie a little bit later. Before we go any further, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, would you please do so? I tell you that every time, and there's a reason why I do it. Because there are algorithms with YouTube, with Spotify, and also with Apple, and it makes a big difference with the algorithms where you get placed, and it also makes a big difference to our sponsors, which include Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course and you're tired of beer and you're tired of crappy hard seltzers or whatever it is that you're drinking, then go with the best, folks. Try a Party, made for golfers, by golfers, with the finest spirits in there. Massive head start on the competition. Now, if you don't have it at the golf course where you play, get in touch with the professional staff or the beverage staff and say, we got to get Party here. Get in contact with Paradise Craft Distributors, the exclusive distributor of Party across the state of Florida. If golf real estate is in your future plans, and by the way, it's a great time to buy. There's a lot of inventory around Lakewood National Golf Club, where this podcast originates from. Good deals out there. It's time to pull the trigger, folks. And there's nobody better to help you out than the golf real estate pros than Vince Visicaro, Gene Walsh, and Samantha Walsh from SuncoastDreams.com, a division of fine properties in the greater Sarasota area. And if all that golf and all that shopping for real estate has got you worn out and you just need a day to yourself, a me day at the spa, go to BioLit Spa in downtown Sarasota. They got you covered. All right, Stephen Arnold is our guest here. Stephen is a golf professional at Longbow Key Club and also Red Sky Golf Club in Colorado. Been trying to get you on for a long time. Now's our time. Stephen, how's it going, my man?
Good, thank you, Kevin. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad we can make this work.
Tell me where you're joining us from. Where's home for you now? Because I know you're in 2 different places. I just want to know the backstory.
So I split my year 8 months down in Sarasota, teaching at Longbow Key Club. I spent the other 4 months out in Colorado at Red Sky Golf Club, which is kind of in the Vail Valley. So I bounce back and forth. Family goes both places, so we are kind of all over the place. This is more home for me. I've been in Florida for 17 years now, 18 years. So Florida is definitely home. I know we've got the Philly connection, which is really home. But Florida is now home, and Colorado is where we go for the summer.
That's cool. And you're balancing a young family at the time. So I should have suspected with the Villanova connection, there's a Philly connection. But where exactly did you grow up? What's the hometown? Take me there.
So I grew up in Langhorne, Bucks County. I played at Yardley Country Club growing up, went into Chamonix High School. So I think you've had Christian Bartolacci on here. He and I are both in the Hall of Fame class there at Chamonix for the golf team. Grew up there. I went to East Tennessee State, played golf there for 2 years, then transferred to Villanova, did my last 2 there, and graduated from Villanova.
Oh, cool. Okay, so Bucks County kid. I grew up in Montgomery County. I went to Abington High School. And you're right, Christian, by the way, commissioner of the West Florida Golf Tour, was our very first guest on Party Time, My Golf Story. And he told, we all know what he had been through with the loss of his wife, and he told that story. And then he came back on and talked about finding love again. I almost cried. But I know you've played a lot of golf with him, and at Villanova, which we'll get into in just a moment. But take me back to the very roots in Bucks County. When did golf start for you, and who introduced you to the game?
So I started playing golf when I was about 3. I think my mom tells a story that at 4 years old, I put a golf ball through the kitchen window. She decided that golf was a thing I should do, and she went down way before. I'm 40 years old now, so she went out and went to a golf shop and just said, cut these clubs to his size, and they said, that's just a stick and a grip. I'm like, fine, whatever, do it. So I had golf clubs when I was 3, and I just swung around and whack up persimmon wood in the backyard. And my dad played golf. He's still a very active golfer at Yardley Country Club back up in Bucks County. And he was going to go play golf one day. It was Saturday, and I've got a younger sister. My mom goes, you can go play golf, but I'm not watching both children, so take one. So that's how I started to go. And then I loved it. I would go whenever I could with my dad. It was our bonding time. It was our stuff that we did together. I played baseball, basketball, football in middle school, ice hockey. And then by kind of 8th grade, just shifted to kind of full-time golf and baseball. And I would play golf or baseball basically every day. And those were the 2 things that I loved doing. And then I was just better at golf. And the better I got, the more I enjoyed it. And I just loved competing and playing tournaments. So just kind of kept following along. And it's still to this day, like, it's what I love doing. I love teaching, I love coaching, but playing golf, competing at golf, like that to me is like the most enjoyable thing outside of my family. It's what I love doing.
Wow, you love the burn. I think that was one thing that was missing from my competitive career. I liked it at times, but I got to tell you, it wore me out. But I think what you're saying, and it reminds me of people like Jim Furyk, I mean, he needed competitive golf in his life like the rest of us need air to breathe. Like, he would die if he didn't have it. Was it that strong for you?
I don't know if it was the competitive golf, and it was just the game. Like, I just like trying to figure things out. And I think when you look at golf, the game, the swing, all of the pieces that go into it, it's such a massive puzzle that you're always trying to kind of piece things together. So you're working through this thing, and as soon as you think you've got one thing figured out, something else goes wrong. So it's this constant battle of trying to improve, managing expectations, and then to me, the reason why I like competitive golf and why I've always enjoyed it is that was the test, right? So like some people don't like tests in school. I actually enjoy tests. Tests were the chance to prove you knew what you were doing, right? So when I looked at golf, it's, okay, well, I'm practicing, I'm working, I'm trying to do these things. Let me see how much pressure I can do these things under, right? Like, playing golf by yourself is an unbelievably good experience. To me, it's one of the more cathartic things that I will do for myself when I get the chance. But there's no pressure there. It's enjoyment, it's pleasure. The more pressure you can create, the more you can see if what you've worked on, you actually own it, right? And if it doesn't, where does it break down? When does it break down? Why does it break down? And then try and piece those things back together. So to me, the process of it was always the enjoyment, right? The competition was just the best test that I could find to try and see how things worked.
Yeah, and when you're in the heat of competition, though, you will know if your work has paid off. But for some, like, translating it, just sometimes nerves just get the best of you. We'll probably save that conversation for a later time. Stephen Arnold is our guest here on Party Time, My Golf Story. He is a golf professional at Longbow Key Club in Sarasota and also Red Sky Golf Club in the Vail, Colorado area. So going to Villanova, you mentioned you were at East Tennessee State beforehand. What was the decision to go to East Tennessee State first and then to Villanova?
So I was originally planning on going to Villanova. Like I said, I played baseball and golf, and I didn't play a really highly competitive schedule like some juniors did. So I didn't have a ton of USM or US juniors. I didn't have a ton of AJGA experience. I just played what was close to me. I played what was around me. I played high school golf. and I did well, but I didn't do it at the national level much. I just didn't do a lot of it. But Villanova, kind of as you know, doesn't have scholarships, so there was no signing a letter of intent. There was no commitment letter. I was just in the school, and I was going to go, and I was going to be on the golf team. But I went to a tournament, and it was in Bermuda over Easter, and I played really nicely. And the coach from East Tennessee State was there. He saw me play and came up to me and said, "Hey, we have lost one of our recruits, and I would like to offer you a partial scholarship to come down to the team." And at that point in time, East Tennessee State was a top 25 program. They had an unbelievable facility. They had just finished building an amazing practice center. I knew absolutely nothing about it. I didn't know it existed. I knew nothing about Tennessee. But then I looked them up and I'm like, well, these guys are really good and they want me to play golf with them. So yeah, I'm going to go there. So I went there. I went there for 2 years. You were asking earlier about a story. When you want to know why I transferred, it's a good one. But then after 2 years, I transferred and went back to Villanova. And I enjoyed my time there. It was very different, but it was nice being back home. The competition level changed. A whole bunch of stuff changed, but both of those experiences were very good for me, both from a playing side and from a coaching side. Now there was a lot of lessons in both of them.
Well, you saw some good basketball when you were there, no doubt about that. Any Jay Wright stories for me?
I tell one Jay Wright story, and it is, I thought it was the most impressive thing that I've ever seen from somebody in his position. The golf team at Villanova was okay at best. We didn't have scholarships. Most of the kids on the golf team priority was school. Golf was the thing that they did. I was a little different in that, where I cared way more about golf, and my goal was to try and play after college. But we were fine. We were middle of the pack in the Big East, not ranked particularly high. So we're getting ready to go to Big East championships. They were down in Lake Jovita in Dade City. And we have some ungodly early flight out of Philly, and we're getting in the van outside of the pavilion. It's 3:30 in the morning, and everyone's groggy. We're standing around, and out walks Jay Wright with his Villanova jumpsuit on, tracksuit on, cup of coffee in his hand, and he just walks out and goes, "Guys, we're really proud of you guys. We can't wish you enough luck. Go play well, represent the school well. We're really proud of you." And honestly, we didn't deserve that level of attention. Like we were just part of the school, but he cared so deeply about the school, the program, all of it. And then just to do that, to come out to see us at 3:30 in the morning. Well, the basketball team was probably a top 5 team in the country. Was just a remarkable kind of show of class from somebody in his position. And it meant the world to us. So it was very, very cool of him. And I've always thought the world of him as a coach, as a leader. He is phenomenal. Great when we were there.
It kind of reminds me, like when I ask people about Jay Wright stories, I think the one thing it always comes back to is he has something really cool to say. He just oozes coolness. It almost kind of reminds me of Arnold Palmer. Like to meet him, he makes you feel like you're somebody and you're important. And I guess that's how he made you guys feel. Like in the end, right? Like, wow, that was something.
Yeah, he really was. Like he made you feel like you matter. He made you feel like he cared about you. He made you feel like he was really invested in what you were doing. And if you can do that as a coach and your players and the people around you buy into that, you're going to get better effort. You're going to get better work. But for him, it was so sincere and so genuine that I think he deeply meant it. And it just sets a standard around you. And it's just it makes you want to be around that, and what makes you want to work and be better.
Yeah, no question about it. And Arnold was the same way. When he asked you questions about yourself, he really wanted to know how things were going. He made you feel like a somebody. I know that because I've met Jay before a couple times, interviewed him before. He just always made me feel like I had his full attention, and that what the stupid questions I was asking him actually had some importance to him, even though they didn't. But he never big timed me as big time as he was. I mean, what a guy. I mean, the college game misses him greatly. So does Villanova basketball, by the way, if we want to get into it. Little fun. at Villanova. Ever been to Kelly's on Lancaster Avenue?
I've been. Yep. Halloween. Yep. I've been.
Have you been thrown out of it?
I've been. I have left of my own accord. Maybe not doing well when leaving, but I have been there and I have left there. Yes, all on my own accord.
That's good. Well, hey, look, for those that are not in the know, that is the place to go in Villanova. And I've been there before, and some family members and friends of mine, they've all been kicked out, and they're very proud of it. I have not been kicked. I've been kicked out of other places too, but
I'm assuming you know all of the boys at Overbrook, your Chris Langs and all those guys.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I mean, what? Yeah.
So we had this little Ryder Cup thing between the Villanova golf team and Overbrook, and it was Chris Lang and it was Oscar Messer and all of those guys, and we're playing like this 8-on-8 Ryder Cup, and they absolutely drummed us, and it's so embarrassing because they're all in, this is whatever it was in 2007, 6, they're all in their 50s, 60s, and they are just taking us to the woodshed, just beating us as we're 20-year-old kids. And then afterwards, they just regaled us with stories about their time at that age and the stuff that they did. Wow, you guys set quite the precedent when you were here. It's a great group of guys up there. That I do miss that, like the GAP, the Philadelphia Golf Association, playing all those events, seeing all the guys playing the invitationals. That was so much fun when you were in college or just out. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah, because like my memories of it, and I played on the men's team at Huntington Valley when I think they brought me on board when I was 15 or 16, and they didn't even give me a choice. And you know something, Stephen, they treated me like a man before I was. And so we were going to steak dinner, and there may have been some beers going around, and they brought me home. My dad's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I just went along with the crowd." I mean, you can't do that. I mean, this is the 80s. It was things were different back then. I mean, we behaved differently. But I appreciated that they treated me like a man before I was. So let's talk about Longbow Key Club. I know you got a really good program going on there. And one of the things that you did when you got into teaching is you embraced technology early on. Why'd you do that?
So when I started teaching, I was looking for a way to kind of make a name for myself, create a niche. It was 2012, I think. And I was kind of looking around going, what can I do? What part of the game am I passionate about? What can I be? What can I do? And I don't really know a lot on the teaching side of that end. So I'm like, I can be good at something. So the first thing I bought was a SAM Puttlab, and I said, I'm just going to be really good at teaching putting. I'm just going to focus on that because I don't see anybody teaching putting in our area. I don't see anybody doing this as a specialty. So I'm just going to get really good at putting. So I bought a SAM Puttlab, learned everything I could about it, learned everything I could technically about the stroke. And then as I went through my career, the technology for me just kind of lends a balance. Like it shouldn't be used for everything. But at the same time, if you can get away from guessing and you can measure early, you can avoid going down the wrong road. If you start down the wrong road, you can catch it quickly. Technology just allows you the ability to get where you need to go faster. It lets you take the guesswork out. And then kind of what I learned as I was teaching is like, okay, well, this is what I'm seeing. And then you sort of realize there's a whole bunch of different ways to create what you want, whether it's talking putting, whether you're talking full swing, and then figuring out the different ways to solve the problem that you're seeing. And then the tech for me has just always allowed me to either validate what I'm seeing or confirm that what I think we need to do is going in the right direction. We're getting the results. And then it also kind of allows the student to see what the changes they've made are actually how they're measurable, right? So if you're working on path or face or angle of attack, if you're working on ball speed or shot shaping, you can always use the golf ball, and the golf ball is obviously super helpful. But there's a time when you're maybe changing the swing and the golf ball is not really doing what you want to see yet because you haven't found the timing for contact. But the measurements are telling you you're going in the right direction. And I think that is where you can start to say to a student, like, look, I know we haven't found the contact, or we haven't found the timing of this yet, but you're starting to shift the swing in the way we need to see it, so that when we find the contact with this, you're going to produce the shot you want. So it can help with buy-in. It can help students get through that struggle whenever you're making a change, of saying, okay, I see where this is going. This makes sense to me. Because I think if it makes sense, if you understand it, like, okay, if I can get this, this is what it'll create. This is what I'll get to see. This is why I'm doing it. Now it creates that buy-in that allows you to kind of stay on track and not get overly discouraged too quickly, and before you get a chance to kind of implement the feels and create the patterns that you're looking for.
Love that. And buy-in is so important, because if people don't buy in, it doesn't matter. And it's easy to buy into science when you can see it and understand it and then apply it to what you're doing. I forgot to ask you something. After college, did you chase it?
I did. Not well. I tried. I turned pro at a very, very bad time. So I graduated 2007, moved to Florida, turned pro in 2008, right in the middle of the economic crash. And basically everyone lost their funding. Right, so all the players, if you looked at the Gateway Tour, which was in West Palm Beach, the model that they used to run was you paid $10,000 for the winter season, $10,000 for the spring season, and $15,000 for the summer season. You paid it up front. And that got you 7 events, 10 events. And they were, in 2004, 5, 6, 7, they were sold out the instant that they opened up their schedule. You had to get on wait lists to get in. You had to buy spots from other players. I turned pro, and the crash happens, and all of the kind of mid-tier players that had support, all the funding went. So, they were getting 132 players 2 years prior. They had like 40 guys first year. And the biggest problem for me was the 40 guys that were still playing were all the guys that were really, really good. And I wasn't there yet. And I just got my teeth kicked in and lost a whole bunch of money really quickly, and goes, this might not be a good career path for you. Tried Q school, and then kind of quickly was like, I'm not close. Like I could shoot the good scores, right? I could shoot a 66, 65 in competition, but my bad scores were 76, 77, 78, and you're not going to make a lot of money doing that. So I liked Christian events when I started out, because they were one-dayers. So I could win a one-dayer. I won a few of those because I could have a good day. I did not have the talent, the skills required, and the mental side of it, where I could play 3-4 consecutive rounds without having a disaster in there somewhere that would take you out of the money, miss the cuts, cost you a whole bunch of money, whatever it was going to be. And if you can't do that, if you can't string long stretches of quality golf together, you're never getting through Q school, and you're going to lose money very quickly on the mini tour circuit.
I hear stories like that all the time, but you were just a lot more specific about like the economic crash. And then I didn't know about all that money up front, but I know everybody that's chasing on the mini tours, money always becomes an issue unless you got a dad with real deep pockets, and it doesn't really matter. And even those guys, it doesn't seem to work out because they don't quite have the burn. Speaking of mini tours and mini tour legends and Longbow Key Club, any Mike Fasaki stories?
I think so. I like Mike. I've gotten to know him more now that he's been working out there the last couple of years. He's a really good dude. He's obviously uber talented, and he's a really, really good golfer. And I think now that he's working into the PGA program, starting to work towards that. I don't have any good ones for you. I wish I did. I wish I had a good one. I think more as I play with him now. Now it's more of him going like, oh, it's really hard to be really good at golf when I don't play golf all the time. Like when I have to work and do shifts.
You mean he's not taking you? He hasn't taken you out and dropped a 62 on you just like that, like he has to many other people.
Well, thankfully, I don't get to play much golf, so he hasn't done it to me yet. I have not been unfortunate enough to catch the wrong side of that one.
Yeah,
I hear about it plenty, but it's there's certainly a thing like this happened to me when I started teaching, is when you start teaching, you might see like, I did 9 hours of lessons yesterday. I saw 9 different students. By the end of the day, if you start to hit golf balls afterwards for yourself, you're like, wait, what do I do? I know what I told this person, I know what I told that person, but what is my swing? And you can almost get lost in your own golf swing because of the information you give to other students, and then you start thinking about the swing more. Where I think when you're playing, you want to be kind of void of as many swing thoughts as possible. You just want to kind of know, I focus on this and the ball does what I want, and this is really good. The more you start thinking, and then for me, like I was a basket case when I was teaching and then playing, because every time I went out to play with members, I'm like, I have to look like I look good, not just play good. I have to look like I have a good swing, and that's not me. Like my swing is unique. We'll go with unique, and that created all sorts of issues in my golf game. I got really bad for a while, and then you kind of figure out like, okay, the goal is to play golf. The goal is to play good golf, shoot a good score, control the golf ball, and that kind of helped with my teaching of saying like, we have to. There's things that we want to see, things that I like, but we have to look at this from a way more holistic approach of like, it's going to matter how it works for you, and how to make it work for you so that you play your best golf. And then once you kind of start to get that in, you can kind of run with that, and it allows you to certainly play a bit better, in my opinion.
You got to play your own game. You got to be an athlete. There's a time to think. That's on the range. That's for the lessons and everything. But when you get out on the course, and I tell all the people that I caddy for, I'm like, look, you've played enough golf. The muscle memory's there. Just get up and hit it and be an athlete. And that's really your best shot. So tell me about like being in 2 different places, Red Sky Club in Colorado and Longbow Key Club here in Florida. How do you make it work? I mean, so far apart, you got a young family. I mean, a lot of people are probably making sacrifices, but how does it work?
It's a lot of effort. It is a lot of effort and a lot of organization. Thankfully, things have gone really well at Longboat for me, and with our family, things have been good. And when the job opportunity presented itself at Red Sky, and I applied and interviewed and got the position, my wife and I just talked, and I said, "Oh, we're just going to figure this out. Like, it's too good an opportunity." So the first year, we made obviously plenty of mistakes trying to figure it out, but what we love for us is the opportunity it gives our kids. So we get to spend 4 months out of the year in the mountains. We spend 8 months of the year down here and at the beach. Our kids get to experience all sorts of different environments and people and lifestyles, and they get to see mountains and snow, and they get to see bears and coyotes and all sorts of stuff in the mountains. And then down here, they get to explore the ocean and do stuff. So for us, it's like, okay, this is going to be a logistical challenge. My wife's been amazing. She does a really incredible job. She is the program director for the First 1,000 Days initiative out of the hospital. And she is able to work remotely. She does a lot of the structuring of the organization. She does all of the grant reporting. She does all the research and evaluation, and she can do that from home or from wherever we are. And she has been very, very accommodating of getting up super early in the morning when we're out in Colorado, so she can get her work in from with mountain time being helpful, so that I can then get to work, and then she can get extra stuff done in the evenings when I get back, and we just trade off responsibilities. So it hasn't been good for my golf game because I don't go to play very much at the minute, but for us and for our family and the facilities I get to work at are amazing. The staff I get to work with are amazing. And it's a lot of work. It's hard to organize and structure, but at the same time, for us, it's worth all of the effort of it.
So you're not playing much golf, but you're going to be playing a lot of golf really soon. You mentioned first 1,000 days, Suncoast, longest day of golf. What's I have a general idea because Kyle Rhodes, who plays West Florida Golf Tour, I caddy with him at Concession Golf Club. He videotapes his thing, did a great job on Instagram and everything, and it looked grueling. But what's your version of the longest day of golf going to be?
So he did the 100-hole hike. He did that at the short course over concession, which is a lot of walking, but it's the short course. I'm going to see how many holes of golf I can play in a day. So this will be a 6:45 a.m. start until sun goes down, and I'm just going to play golf all day long at Longboat with the hopes of playing 100 holes. I'm not walking. I'm not going to do that. I won't finish. I'm aware of this. So I am doing it as a way to support the initiative that my wife runs, and I've got members and clients that have pledged per hole and per birdie, that have made flat donations. And then what's really, really cool with it is the Charles and Marjorie Baranczyk Foundation is matching every dollar that we raise through this event, dollar. So if we raise $20,000 or $30,000, they're going to match it. And this is what allows them to bring in more navigators. That helps with care coordination for families in our area. And what this initiative has done in our community is really, really amazing. The results they've shown, the impact they've had on families and what it's allowed them to do and the growth, and all of that helps for children in the first 1,000 days of life, right? If putting them in a better situation produces better outcomes early, and that's the most important area you have from a child's development side. So the more that they're able to do, the better it is for all of us, right? And what it does in our community is amazing with the services they provide. Her initiative has taken 90 community partners, put them all on one platform. So care coordination is more streamlined. So families get better attention. They get to the services they need. They get them quicker. And it reduces stress. It reduces anxiety. It puts them in a position where they can succeed and grow in their lives, where they're not just trying to survive as much. And
it gives them a chance to thrive and
correct
and have the life that any child should have. Now, if people want to donate to you, how can they get in contact with you?
So you can always find me. My website's StephenArnoldGolf.com. All of my contact information's on there. Instagram, Stephen Arnold Golf. Most of my stuff goes through my email database, which is where people can sign up online. You can see some of my content, some of the articles I've written. If they're looking for lessons, that's where they go. The best way is to reach out to me. If you reach out to me, I can get you connected with, it's all going through the Sarasota Memorial Healthcare Foundation. They're the ones that take in all the money. So there's a link to donate. I'm currently taking pledges. If people just, basically what it is most of my clients and members at Longboat or Red Sky are just emailing me saying, hey, I'm giving you $1 a hole or $5 a hole or whatever it's going to be, or keep track of your birdies, see how many birdies you make, I'll give you $50 a birdie or $20 a birdie. And there's plenty that are just making a flat donation to contribute because they see the value that it does. So that's the best way to do it. Sarasota Memorial Healthcare Foundation is where the pledge will go through. It is a tax-deductible donation as well, and that can all be recorded or received with a receipt too.
Awesome. Stephen Arnold. Golf.com. So check that out for all information about Stephen. Stephen Arnold is our guest here on Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by the Golf Real Estate Pros of Gene Walsh, Samantha Walsh, and Vince Vizzicaros on CoastStreams.com. Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course, try a Party. And if all that golf has you worn out, check out Violet Spa in downtown Sarasota. Stephen, love the Jay Wright story. You got another good golf story for me? What's your go-to? I'm sure you got a couple.
So my best one is why I transferred from East Tennessee State. So my sophomore year, I played well in the spring or in the fall. I played really nicely in the fall, and then went home for Christmas, came back in the spring. I am struggling. I'm just not playing well. My coach is pissed at me. I'm not having a good time. I'm just mentally a mess, and my game sucks. So we are hosting a recruit, and my college roommate was a kid named Reese Davis, who was the #1 player in the country. He was a first-team All-American. He went on to win on the European tour. He got the top 50 in the world. He was amazing. He's still one of my really good friends. He was one of my groomsmen. He's awesome. And he's like, yeah, we've got a recruit coming in next weekend. I'm like, oh, okay, who is it? And he goes, this kid named Rory McIlroy. And I'm like, oh, where's he from? He's an Irish guy.
What? Wait, how do I not know this? Keep going.
So the coach at East Tennessee was very good. He realized early on that he couldn't get the best Americans. So what he did was he went to Europe, went to the British Amateur, and found the best British kids because they had no idea what was happening in the U.S. for college, and it was just college golf. So they didn't know the difference of East Tennessee State versus UF, right? So he gets a kid named Keith Nolan, who goes on to be an All-American, finishes second to Tiger at the NCAAs, and gets himself on tour. So now he's got this pipeline out of the UK. So he's getting the best Irish players, he's getting the best European players, and he is bringing them all in. So he gets Reese. Reese is amazing. He's the number one player in Europe. Best putter I've ever seen. Half of what I teach, I just learned from him when we were practicing together. So we have this pipeline out of the UK. And so we're in Johnson City, Tennessee. My golf team is 2 Welsh guys, 3 Irish guys, a Costa Rican, and me. So it's an interesting group in Johnson City, Tennessee. And then we host Rory McIlroy. He's 16 years old. He's finished his A-levels. He's eligible to play college golf. So he comes in for his recruit, and he's staying with us. And we go out to dinner, and he was really nice. It was him and another player named Zach Gould out of Wales, who was also unbelievably good. So we go out to play golf, and Rory shoots 65. He hit it 40 yards by me at 16 years old. And I'm looking around going, I don't know how I'm ever going to beat this kid. I'm demoralized, and he's 16 and I'm 19 or 20 at the time, and I'm struggling. And Rory signs his letter of intent. Rory signs a letter of intent with East Tennessee State. He's coming next year. So is Zach Gould. And I'm looking around going, all right, well, we've got Reese at number 1. We've got Kean and Gareth, who are 2 great young freshmen out of Ireland. I just saw Rory play golf, and I can't beat him. And we've got Zach Gould. And my coach and I hadn't really been getting along, and I was struggling. And I'm just like, you know what? This is me done. I'm done here. I'm not getting better. I feel like I'm getting worse, and I'm definitely not playing. So I'm kind of looked at it and went, you know, Villanova sounds really appealing right now. It's going to be a better education. It's going to be a better degree. I'm going to play on the golf team, and I can kind of focus on me. And I transferred and went back. Rory has an amazing summer, decommits because he turns pro, which worked out. It went okay for him. It kind of.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, this career major thing. Yeah, I mean, what's the big deal?
I mean, he could have gone to East Tennessee State. It would have been a great experience for him. It could have gotten even better. Zach becomes ineligible for something academically. So I've left. Now they're struggling to field a team. Well, they bring in Seamus Power, who wanted to take Rory's spot. So Seamus Power played golf in the U.S. because of Rory McIlroy and me. So I've got a nice connection to 4 players out of Ireland. But then the Villanova thing worked out really well because I went back. My swing coach was up there. Or I found this. I don't know if do you know Dom DeJulia out of?
Of course. Yeah. Jericho National, right?
Dom is an amazing instructor. And I started to work with him when I went back after my sophomore year. And he was amazing. And he changed my golf game. Changed the way I looked at the game, changed the way I looked at the swing, he just completely transformed me as a player. And I went on to win at Villanova. I won the Big 5 when it was at cricket, wound up going on to be an all-region selection, all Big East, and won the Patterson Cup and the Silver Cross in Philly. And to me, East Tennessee was amazing, and it was an experience I would never I'll always cherish it. I learned a ton there at that level. But Villanova for me, and then the connection with Dom changed who I was as a player, and it kind of changed the way I started to look at things. If I'm working with juniors now or young players, it's like, look, go into the high-end D1 school is awesome, right? If you're good enough to compete there, it's great. And if you can compete on that level, the experiences you're going to have are amazing, and you're never going to get that level of competition anywhere else. At the same time, being able to play and being able to develop and be able to grow, like every player is going to kind of peak at different levels and at different times. And it's the scenario you're in is so important in your developmental side. If you want to grow and get better. So there have been players where I was like, you might kind of be able to walk on that Division I team. You might get to practice with some guys that are really good. That might help you get better. But if you go here, you can play. And if you
there's no substitute for playing. And Villanova is an opportunity that you can't turn down because of its stature, because of Jay Wright. There, wish he was still there, but who knew that it took Rory to chase you out of town? But in the big picture, it all worked out, right? You needed all that stuff going on to get to where you were in the place where maybe you were meant to be all along, but you still had that great experience. All right, so we're winding it down here, Stephen. Just the profound role that golf plays in your life. How would you express it? How would you articulate it?
Like golf to me has given me everything in my life, right? So to me, golf is amazing. It is the connections you build in it, the people you get to meet, the experiences you get to have. I mean, for me, golf has allowed me, and what I do within the industry has allowed me and my family to have experiences that I don't know how else we would have gotten there. It's just a game that brings so much to so many different people and so many different levels, right? And I talk to students about this all the time, because at Longboat I tend to get a lot of newer golfers getting into the game at an older age, and it's the game's there to make you happy. It's there for your enjoyment. Whatever that's going to be is fine, right? So if your goal is just to get out, see friends, hit the ball, move around, as long as you can do it at a reasonable pace and you're enjoying it, like that's great. That's awesome. If you want to do it competitively, if you want to see how good you can get, there's so many different ways that golf can be enjoyable. And there's so much that it gives you. Like I'm so fortunate. Like, I look at the philanthropic work that we're doing for that longest day of golf, and the people that I've met, like I'm not raising the money, I'm not giving the money. These are all people that I've worked with and taught that are being generous because of our relationships. It's an amazing thing to see how that can kind of, how the relationships you can build within the game can kind of manifest themselves in so many different arenas and avenues, and what it can give. And for me, like the things that I really, really care about are that the people that I'm working with are getting what they want out of it, that they're getting enjoyment. I love watching the improvement of players. I love watching players learn and grow and see how they're improving. And then it gives me the stuff that it's given for me with my dad, with my mom, the experiences it's created. Like to me, it's just an amazing game, and it can be amazing at so many different levels.
It's a vehicle for entertainment and fun, but for relationships and lasting relationships. And now you got the kids involved. I know they're real low. Hey, just one more real quick. When Rory came on his recruiting trip, I mean, did you guys have some fun?
I'm fairly positive it was the first time Rory had really ever been away from his parents, and we went out to dinner, and he's 16 years old. I mean, yeah, he had a couple of beers, but he was this kind of pudgy little, like 5'6", 5'8", maybe, kind of a little bit of acne, kind of chunky looking, didn't look like much. And then you watch him at a golf course, like, oh my God, what was that?
Sounds like the Tiger stories. Yeah, like first time you see him hit a ball, you're like, oh no. It's like,
the golf course we used to play in at East Tennessee was a golf course. It's changed names now, but it used to be called the Ridges. And it has provided, when I was with Rory, first hole is an iron hole tee shot, it's a positional hole. Next hole is the same thing, it's kind of a positional hole tee shot. The third hole is a par 3. And then the fourth hole is this downhill, dog leg, right to left par 5, where you can just send driver. And like you watch Rory, and it's like he's good, like he's hitting really good golf shots, but it's iron play, so it's nothing crazy. And then you get in this hole, and he likes to draw it, as you can see. He gets up and sends this driver, and it's just like, oh my god, that was different. What was that? That golf course, the experience I had on that golf course, my very first event as a freshman, I qualified for the team freshman year, first event. I'm playing on the team, and we get paired with UF and Clemson. And Camilo Villegas is in the group right behind me, and right behind him is James Vargas. And my coach, he's like, hey, Steve, you're a freshman. Like, pay attention to what these guys do. Watch what they do. See what you can learn from them. Like, you're a freshman. This is a learning experience. I'm like, okay, cool. First hole is this iron positional shot. You leave yourself like 120 yards into this kind of elevated green. And I look back, and Camilo Villegas holds it for eagle. First college shot I've ever seen. Holds it for eagle. I'm like, oh, okay. That's interesting. I get on the next tee, and you can see the fairway. And I'm looking back, and James Vargas is in the fairway, and he holds it for eagle. And I just looked at my coach, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to learn from that. Like, you just hold your iron shots, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah, and I'm like,
just get up.
And like, oh yeah, he's a first team All-American. Like, he's really good.
Well, that's major Division I golf. It's just you never know who's around you, or sometimes you do, and you're like, oh boy, I'm in for a long day here. Stephen, hey, I wish you good luck on your journey in life and with teaching and especially playing 100 holes on the longest day of golf. Let's keep in touch, and maybe we'll get together, play around the golf, and we'll drag Mike Fasaki out. Maybe we can tag team him.
I think Christian's typically my better ball partner.
Oh, there we go.
So we could do a little me and Christian versus you and Mike, have a little match there.
There you go. But I still want strokes. You guys can play each other straight up, but I want strokes because I'm the lone amateur in that group.
I think Vasaki's like a +6 in the twin, so I think he's got to give me 4. So I'll take the strokes too. It's fine. We can make it fair.
Yeah, there you go.
But it'll be fun.
That's the deal. You set it up, and I'll be there. All right. Good luck with everything, and let me know how everything goes. Okay.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being on. Thank you.
All right. Big thanks to Stephen Arnold, golf professional at Longbow Key Club in Sarasota. Get in contact with him at StephenArnoldGolf.com, and also support his upcoming longest day of golf. You're helping a bigger cause at the same time. Big thanks to the Golf Real Estate Pros, Gene Walsh, Vince Vizzacaro, and Samantha Walsh, SuncoastStreams.com, and Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course, try a Party. And if you're all tired from all that golf, and Stephen, after you're done with your 100 holes, go over to BioLit Spa, all right, and get a massage or red light therapy to recover from that, right? Sound like a deal?
That sounds perfect.
All right, for Stephen Arnold, I'm Kevin Walsh. We'll see you again next time on Party Time, My Golf Story.
You've been listening to It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers, and the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoaststreams.com or call 941-220-4000.